Part 8 on how I lost my husband insane. So we get to the funeral home. The only people who are there is my husband's motorcycle club. Those are the only people that I was going to allow to see them. So as we pull up, they were all pulling up, just getting out of their cars. And I can remember getting out of my car, and they were looking at me like, why are you here? Because you said you wasn't going to come. But it wasn't like looking at me like, why are you here? They're looking like, are you okay? Are you sure you can go in here and be okay? Because the 4 days that, they had been at my house, and, they really had already knew my mental state, and they were just trying to make sure that you're okay to go in here. And I just didn't say anything. And I was just like, I'm going in. So we went inside of the funeral home, and I am so afraid of funeral homes. Like, I'm so afraid of funeral homes too. If I have to pass by a funeral home, I will literally go all the way around not to be around a funeral home. I don't like it. But what I can say is that Tree of Life Funeral Home was so kind to me. I can't even tell you how kind and professional that staff is at the Tree of Life. We walk inside the funeral home, and we all go to the back because they are table side. And they're side by side in this room, and they just look like they're asleep. And I'm standing there, and I refuse to look at my son because I wasn't ready to accept what was going on. So I ran towards my husband, and I just stood there and I just cried. And I had this thing what I used to do is I would lay my hand on his chest at night and feel his heartbeat. I ran to the side of that table, and I just put my hand on his chest to see, like, maybe he's okay. Maybe he'll get up. But it wasn't a heartbeat there. He was cold, and he was just laying there like he was asleep. Then I focused on my son. And my heart just crumbled. I just looked at him, and I was so afraid to even touch him. And in that moment, I just stood there. I wasn't afraid to touch my husband, but I was afraid to touch my son. I didn't know why, but I didn't want to touch him. And I just stood there, and I stared, and I just cried, and I just wept, because this is real. This is real. And I guess for like the 4 days that, they were being released from the coroner's office, they was going to the funeral home, I still was living in the illusion that this is not real. But that moment at the funeral home, I knew this was it. This is nothing I can do. It's nothing nobody can do. And I walked up to my son, and I just placed my hand on his dreads. And I just was like, you are gone. Like, you're really, really not here anymore. I wanted everything in that moment. Whatever I felt that would preserve their final moments, I wanted it. Because I remember asking the funeral director to cut out some of his dreads from the back of his hair. And he came in with the scissors, and he raised my son's head up. And he took out 6 of his dreads.